The Democratic National Convention begins today in Milwaukee. It will end later this week with the likely nomination of Joe Biden as the party's presidential candidate. The convention theme is American Unity. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the events will be done by video. Prior to the coronavirus crisis, around 50,000 people were expected to attend the convention. Joining me now with a preview of tonight's Democratic National Convention kickoff is Philip Crowther, international affiliate reporter for the Associated Press. Philip, welcome back. Always good to see you. So tonight will look a lot different than what we're used to seeing. That's, of course, because of the coronavirus pandemic. How do the Democrats plan on recreating that energy that's usually generated at this event?
That's a very good question. Where do you get that energy from? That these conventions are pretty much synonymous with essentially the crowd, the delegates feed off the speakers, the politicians on stage, the musicians, the stars, they feed off the crowd and vice versa. None of that can really happen this time around, though there is some significant star power, at least star power in the politics arena. You'll be hearing and seeing during this four-day convention from all of the political stars of the Democratic Party, of course from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but also from Hillary and Bill Clinton, from Barack and Michelle Obama, and so many others, stars of the Democratic Party, from the left wing, from the more centrist wing. That's kind of what this convention is supposed to be about, uniting the party, if you will. Now, at best, this is going to be a convention that will energize Democratic Party voters, who, of course, will be watching from home. This is a virtual online convention that they can follow on their computers or on their TV screens. There is nothing to be seen in person. That's at best. At worst, this is going to look like an above average Zoom conference call, but with some pretty good production values, if you will. This is a risky thing to do, of course, during a pandemic. But then again, Republicans are faced with the same problem next week when they stage their convention.
Well, tonight's theme is We the People. Let's talk a little bit more about that and what are some of the issues Democrats are expected to lay out?
Well, Democrats really are insisting that this convention, particularly tonight, this opening night, is not about we, the Democrats, it's about we, the people. And they also say this is not all about Trump. This is about what the Democratic Party stands for. So what they've been saying is we'll be hearing from average Americans, if you will, as convoluted as that term can be, meaning we'll be hearing from people who, according to Democrats at least, have suffered during the Trump administration. And I think what the Democratic Party will concentrate on here are three concurrent crises in the United States and how Americans are dealing with those and how they at least believe Americans would deal with them better during a Biden administration. Those three crises being, of course, the coronavirus outbreak that isn't getting any better, the economic crisis that's already here and that will presumably get worse over the next few months, and then, of course, racial injustice in the United States, made so clear during the protests over the last few months across the country. I think those will be the three main subject matters, though the overarching theme tonight might be we the people. The symbol that the Democratic Party want to bring across is that this is a united Democratic Party against Donald Trump.
Philip, you mentioned some of the speakers that will be speaking this week. Who will we hear from tonight, and are there any surprises?
Well, we already mentioned that this is going to be all about the unity in the Democratic Party, and that really is something that Democrats will try and bring across here tonight by hearing from those on the left wing of the party, those that you might consider more centrist and the very popular stars of the Democratic Party. You'll be hearing from Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, for example, he who came so close to beating Joe Biden to the nomination in the first place during this long primary process. The keynote speech is from former First Lady Michelle Obama, probably the most popular politician, essentially, in the United States, maybe even the most popular person, almost certainly the most popular member of the Democratic Party. Now, there are other interesting names who will be appearing, again, virtually, online, all of them exclusively during this convention. Here's one, for example, the New York Governor, Andrew Cuomo, who became so popular during his state's reaction to the coronavirus pandemic. He will be speaking tonight. And then a very interesting one is John Kasich. He's the former governor of Ohio and a Republican. He's not the only Republican, by the way, who will be speaking at this convention tonight, that might be one other theme. Democrats are trying to tell Republicans and Trump voters that it is okay to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. A hard thing to do, a hard thing to convince people of, but that is one of the things the Democrats want to bring across here tonight.
Okay, Philip Crowther, international affiliate reporter for the Associated Press. Always good to speak with you.
Pleasure.